Hi Aries, welcome to your June 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. As for what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and then we also have some oracle cards we'll take a look at once we get through the main spread, and also a Mudra card. So, getting started with the main spread. The main situation position, we have the Fool. So, this is an energy that represents a fresh start, taking a leap of faith. I feel like a lot of people might be feeling this to a certain extent collectively, right? As a lot of these restrictions we've been feeling for the last couple of months is starting to be loosened up a bit. But yeah, that's what I feel here. This is just saying that you're ready for some kind of a new start in some way. Now, in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Judgment card. So, seeing this come up as a challenge to the Fool card could be saying that, okay, that's one thing to, want to take that leap of faith and have a fresh start, but it looks like there's something from the past that might still need to be closed out before you're able to do so. And, another way this could be playing out too could just be saying that in order to close out the past, it's going to take a leap of faith on your part. So, for example, let's say if someone comes back around, because the Judgment card does represent things coming back around from the past, someone comes back around, it might be saying that the key to you actually being able to get that forward movement is to take a leap of faith and actually hear them out, essentially. In the foundation position, we have the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Swords. So this could just be saying that you might receive some communication from someone, and it looks like it would be, even if it's not directly tied to a love offer, it could just be someone, at the very least extending an olive branch of sorts. And with the Eight of Swords, this might be something that catches you off guard, because the Eight of Swords energy is an energy of just being stuck, not able to move forward, really just stuck in your head. And it actually represents Gemini energy too. So this could be the energy that you guys might feel. Basically, at the time I'm recording this, we're going to be in Gemini season in a couple of days. So really this could be one of those things that you feel more or less, let's say, up until around the 2nd of June, give or take a couple of days. That could be the energy you're feeling there. So coming into the month, for those of you who do watch this in June, this might have already taken place for some of you. In the past position, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is actually Capricorn energy here, which represents your 10th house of career and social status. Now, if this is a partnership, this could be saying that this was a partnership that actually got, a little bit further along as far as you guys might have been building some stability together, possibly even planning on moving together, things along those lines, maybe even did live together at some point. But for others of you, if this is around career as well, this could just be saying that, maybe a situation had to be scrapped, and of course with all the uncertainty going on in the world, maybe that was what caused things to be shelved for a while. Maybe something from the past that you were working on had to be put aside for a while, and maybe it's going to be getting picked back up this month. In the present position, we have the World, the Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. So the World card usually represents a completion of sorts, and you guys did have the North Node in your 4th house and South Node in your 10th house for a while, and now they finally moved on from Cancer Capricorn to Gemini Sag. So this can represent some completion around that. So for some of you, for example, maybe you wrapped up something regarding your career. Maybe this was something that you felt was just out of your reach for a long time, right? Because we see the Pentacles just out of that person's reach. And now with the Knight of Pentacles, it's firmly in your grasp and you're able to move forward. So for some of you, this can represent some kind of a promotion, possibly at work, or even just some kind of completion within your career that actually helps you move forward. For example, maybe some of you graduated recently from college, and maybe now you're able to pursue a job. That could be what's going on there. And this can, of course, represent a connection as well, where, like I said, maybe if there was a situation that there might have been a falling out, and maybe you felt like, that actual stability was just out of reach. Looks like that could be coming your way this month as well. Okay, in the near future position, we have the Queen of Cups the Six of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. So an interesting mixture of energies here. First, I'll say that this is actually Aries energy, represents the last 10 degrees of Aries. This is Cancer, the court card for Cancer. This is Aquarius energy, and this is Taurus energy. So, looking at all these cards together, what this can represent is, I feel like this is tied to that Knight of Cups energy we see there. So if there's some offer that comes your way, so like I said, for some of you it could be a romantic offer, for some of you it could just be an olive branch around some kind of connection, romantic or otherwise. For others of you it could even be related to your career. And I feel like this represents you sitting and, sitting with what was said, whatever was said down here. I feel like you're sitting with it for a while, really trying to decide what you want to do about it. And with that, I feel like you might take some time away to really think about what your best move would be. And ultimately, I feel for a lot of you actually will decide that, you have put in a lot of time and energy into whatever this connection is, romantic, career, you name it. And ultimately, because of that, you might decide to actually take this person up on their offer. So that's what I'm seeing there is the primary way that these cards will be playing out. We'll see if there's anything else that comes to mind with this. For some of you, this can represent possibly having to move for a career opportunity as well. And I feel like there's some reluctance to do so if that's the case. But ultimately, I feel like you might actually take that opportunity to at least, go out there and see, okay, is it worth it, right? That's what I see with that as another potential way those energies could play out. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Temperance card. So this is actually the major arcana card for Sagittarius, and we're actually going to have a full moon eclipse in Sagittarius pretty early on in June. So as far as the timeline, this might be when you're in this energy, and it could definitely be the case too, because we're going to have your ruler, Mars, will be moving through Pisces, which is your 12th house, and it's actually going to be making a square aspect with this full moon. So you could definitely feel that a bit intensely, and possibly, even just in your inner workings, as far as you might be trying to look at things from a higher perspective. So like I said, as far as I feel like you're taking some time away to consider whatever the situation is. Like I said, whether it be a career, romantic, friendship, family connection, possibly even with the Queen of Cups. I feel like you're really just taking the time out to weigh your options and see what the best way forward is. I see that you're going to be very measured about it as well, which is definitely a positive thing. So I see some growth and maturity there as well, and maybe that's what the World card represents too. All right. In the position of the environment, we see the Star and the Ace of Wands. So this is interesting here. I feel like this could represent the other person in the situation, and given that we see the Star there, what might have happened is this person might have went through their own tower moment recently, and now because of that, it might have been a bit of a course correction for them, if you will, and now because of that, they might actually be trying to rectify situations that they might have left not in the best way in the past, let's just say it that way, with that Ace of Wands energy saying that, now that they're in that position, they're considering taking action to fix those things. And especially what stands out to me with that is the fact that we see her pouring water out, right? So if we want to think about water representing emotions, it's like someone pouring out their emotions to you in some way, shape, or form, and then you actually weighing them, right? With the temperance, we see the water again, but it's like the person's really, thinking of pros and cons, right? Again, really taking the time to look through what was said, think about it, and try to come from your highest self, right? As far as we see like the angel symbolism there. So that's what I feel like could be happening for a lot of you, a situation. And like I said, I could even see this, it does feel for a decent portion of you, this might be around romance, but like I said, it could even be career. Like, for example, maybe when all of this pandemic stuff started up, maybe you're someone in your workplace, they might have taken a promise off the table that they made to you, right? Because they were going through their own uncertainty, like, okay, well, we don't know which way the business is going to turn, right? And maybe that was what was going on there. And now possibly as conditions are starting to improve again, they might actually come back around with that offer. So that could be how it plays out for some of you, but like I said, of course, could definitely be a romantic situation as well, possibly even a family connection, since we see that fourth house energy there, and it will be a lot going on in your fourth house as we get later into June. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So I'm going to assume that this will be a fear, right? Given that it is in the reverse position. And for you, I feel like this is just saying that, deep down you might fear that actually good things can come your way. And I mean, I get it as far as you guys had a lot of heavy energy going through your 10th house. Like we said, the South Node finally got out of there, but I mean, you had Saturn there for a couple of years. It's moving back there for a bit as well. You've had Pluto and Jupiter there, so a lot of heavy things going through your 10th house. So you might have just felt like you were a bit down on your luck in some way, shape, or form. But what I always say to people, whether this is seemingly a great card or a bad card, it's just a hopes or fears. So it just more reflects your state of mind. So I feel like you just could be feeling like, you don't feel like your luck would take a turn for the better. But keep in mind that the supporting energies I see around the spread looks like that actually might not be the case. So I don't think you need to worry about that. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the moon. So for a lot of you, I feel like this is really going to point to what I was saying, that full moon eclipse that we're going to have in Sag, just because it really is going to have your ruler clearly impacted by it. And also, this card is sometimes viewed as Pisces energy. And like I was saying, Mars, which is your ruler, is going to be very active with that eclipse. And that's going to be in your 12th house. So, a lot of stuff might be going on in your subconscious. Like I said, it might even be because someone comes forward with some kind of communication that might throw you for a loop and might have you really looking over things in a certain way. Thinking things over, trying to figure out which way to move forward next. Besides that, I mean, there's going to be a lot of lunar activity. There's going to be that new moon coming up in Gemini soon, and then once we're there, like I mentioned, the eclipse, and then we're going to have two new moons in Cancer. They're in Cancer season, so one towards the end of June, and then another closer to the end of Cancer season. So could be pointing to those cycles too. Whenever I see the moon pop up like that, I say definitely just keep an eye out for any significant lunar cycles. So usually the full and new moons are the most important in those regards. But overall, I feel like you won't necessarily feel like you're seeing things too clearly. And if that's the case, keep in mind you have Mars moving through your 12th house right now, and it's going to eventually make a conjunction with Neptune as well. So that might definitely have you feeling like you're not seeing things clearly. Let me see when that will be. Hold on a second. Yeah, that'll be right around the middle of the month. So, especially around that time, you might feel like, a bit out of sorts during that time. But keep in mind, as we get towards the very end of June, Mars will be in your sign. And it's going to be there for a long time because it's eventually going to retrograde. But, nothing else, if you're not feeling too sure of yourself, by the time we get towards the end of June, that energy might start to lift for you guys. And I do have to say, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. And again, like I said, I feel like there's this desire to move forward from things in one way, shape, or form. But with the Judgment card coming up in the challenge position, like I'm saying, the key there, to me, these cards go together. The Death and then the Judgment represents the rebirth side of that energy. So, could just be saying that in order for you to move forward like you might want to, you do have to close out that past cycle. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we have New Life. There's the artwork, and the number is 39. So that definitely makes me think of the Fool card, if nothing else, but we'll see what it has to say. Okay, it says birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. The Oracle's message: when spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. So definitely a pretty positive message there. And again, I feel like that last sentence stands out too, where I was saying, you might feel like you're down on your luck with that Wheel of Fortune in reverse, but it looks like there's definitely some momentum to shift things in a positive way for you guys. All right, the relationship message says new energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnership in all forms. All right, so hopefully that resonates with you guys as well. I do notice how it mentions new energy enters old relationships, so I was saying that is definitely a possibility as well. And it also mentions the possibility for new ones. So I feel like if it's a totally new thing, like I said, I still feel like something would need to be closed out from the past before you get that forward movement. But hopefully that resonated. All right, the prosperity message says you have every reason to be optimistic right now as things seem to fall into place magically. New opportunities remind you that abundance is available to you. The light and the bounty that begins to appear in surprising forms. Stay curious and know that your hopes and dreams are being fulfilled. It's as if new life suddenly infuses your projects, work, and creative ideas with a kind of electricity that crackles with exciting potential. Fortune is smiling on you. So definitely an interesting message there, and it makes me wonder if maybe that Mars transit going through your 12th might actually give you some creative ideas too. That's certainly a possibility, but hopefully that resonated. All right. Next message we have is Moth Spirit. It says surrender now. There's the artwork. And interestingly enough, we actually have number 39 on this card too. So maybe there's some significance to that number for you guys, but we'll see what it says. Okay, it says Moth Spirit asks, what is guiding you right now? Are you in alignment with spirit or pursuing something or someone with so much tenacity that it has become a compulsion or addiction? Are you so intoxicated by a potential relationship or opportunity that you can't think straight? Hard work and dedication are virtues, and love, of course, is a beautiful thing. However, when Moth Spirit appears, it is time to consider if you have gone over the edge in a relentless pursuit. Workaholism, overeating, perfectionism, or addiction to certainty, or even to a person, may be your current vice. The form of your addiction does not matter so much as awareness of the consequences of remaining persistent when moderation is needed. Let go of your excessive energy by channeling it in more than one direction. The fire burns hot, and you do not want to be engulfed by your passion to the exclusion of all other pursuits that matter to you. Now is a time for surrender and radical acceptance so that your drive does not cause you to flee or to fight. Spirit wants you to release your need for certainty and control so that you can relax into a more balanced way of using your Moth Spirit energy. Banish the shoulds and must so that you can enjoy what is as you allow for what might be. Definitely an interesting message there, especially because I would say that normally that feels like that would be a message that an Aries could take some, some knowledge from, but I feel like you're already in that energy where you do seem to be pretty measured. I don't see you necessarily having this aggressive energy to you. Now, maybe that's what the Fool card is pointing to for some of you, where you really are just trying to jump and get after something. But for the most part, like I said, I feel like the vibe from you is pretty calm and measured this month, but hopefully that resonated with you guys either way. All right, and the last thing we have is a Mudra card for you guys. And the Mudra you guys got this month is the Mandala Mudra. There it is there. And the keyword for it is vision. All right. So there's the info on it there if you want to pause it or take a screenshot. But under benefits, it says awakens supreme devotion and enlightened attitude, improves concentration, evokes insight into the transitory nature of all things, serves as a physical expression of your own original nature. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the mudra in the description of the video as always. I'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.